Hey everybody, hope all is well. Wow, the more you look at life, it looks like nothing really changed. A lot of things stay the same. Hmm. She's on the screen about rent. She's an accountant. Who's heard of a homeless accountant? Homelessness is now hitting the middle class, which I'm sure we've all heard of. But I want you to look at this video. I'm going to give her maybe late 30s, 40-ish. Okay, maybe. It's not going to get any better unless you have a place that's paid for. And even if it's paid for, you live in an HOA, don't have your HOA money, we know how that can go. There was a report of a woman losing her home paid for over $3.24 HOA. So no one can be immune from this. Let's look at the first one here. And I hate to say it, I thought about it. A friend of mine, we've had this discussion several times. And I said, we joke about it. I said, orange head. And not trying to be the orange head rah-rah, but because I know how our people are. Oh, you like Donald Trump. Orange head said, they're after you, but I'm in the way. From the gas to the taxes. See, I listen. Our people, if we don't like you, what you had on last week, you cancel. And that's why a lot of our people are going to be sitting up here under that bridge, cancel. Because we don't understand. We have no understanding. We lack understanding. So emotional. And it makes me think this is just another aspect of, again, you hear information, decipher it for yourself. We didn't have this problem a few years ago. We already had a homeless issue. But this with the rent, after this pandemic, has gotten out of hand. So she's still, working woman. She's a mom of 4. And you think, well, they get older, it might get better. Yeah, I'm sure that's what Meemaw thought too. Check this out, fair use.
Problem. They're facing rent hikes after a large company took over the independent living community they live in, and some of them have nowhere to turn.
3 News Now investigator Aaron Haggerty shows us the impact this company's decision is having on their lives.
Stuff in boxes over there, and some boxes here, and I've packed some.
Millie Broughton is packing up her things.
I think I'm going to miss this or I'm going to miss that and miss my friends that I've made.
She's been living in these independent living townhomes in Missouri Valley since 2015.
Well, when they first opened up, I was one of the first ones.
But she's on her way out the door to avoid a hike in her rent payment.
I think I'm going to be the 4th one to move.
But soon after management was turned over to Azria Health, a company with facilities across Nebraska, Iowa, and Kansas, she got a letter stating she'd soon have to start paying $1,500 a month, much more than the $850 she pays now. Recently, she got a notice her new rate would be a bit lower, $1,200, but it's still too much for her.
There's no way ever I could ever afford that on my income. We just thought, nobody pays that much for rent here in Missouri Valley or around here.
In a statement, Azria Health Longview says the townhomes were, quote, newly built in 2015 and offer some of the most beautiful and well-designed independent living units in Missouri Valley and beyond. They told us they're adding new amenities like new meal options and activities, and that all utilities are included in the 2-bed, 2-bath units. They say an Iowa Community Development Block Grant kept the rent at a fixed low rate until last year. That was a $1.6 million agreement made in 2013 to support housing in the area after devastating flooding in 2008. An Iowa Economic Development Authority spokesperson explained there is an affordability period. She said some homes don't see rent increases when the affordability period expires, but said other communities with limited rental inventory do see increases, as these units are often the newest and nicest units in the market. The goal of the post-disaster new construction housing projects is to provide clean, quality, affordable housing. The investment in clean, quality housing helps alleviate Iowa's large housing deficiency overall, even after the affordability period is over.
We thought it was our forever home. We didn't think we'd ever have to leave here.
Forever home. The idea of a forever home, forever gone. Now, look at the age of these people. Hustling up boxes. And where are you going to go? It's the same thing. Elderly in this country. Hustling up boxes, got to find someplace else to live. Then don't forget the high gas prices and the food and the medications and the doctor's visits. Well, I can't afford to stay in this town and my doctor's here. What do? So a lot of people like to go ahead and play around. Don't want to listen to things that could help them to elevate them. They're going to be down with the BDP, Boogie Down Productions, to the very end. Until you can't afford the place where you live, can't afford that little electricity, then you can't afford to hear the little BDP. When the music stops, that's when reality drops. And you realize, uh-oh, got a problem. Even the elderly, who want to be this age? Hustling up somebody. Look at him. I don't know. She might got a better chance than him moving. He really looks frail. Me, Ma, and Papa sitting up here. This is where we are. Hustling up, got to find a place to live. Your forever home, that idea is totally gone. A shift is taking place. It's nothing nice. Nothing nice at all. First-time home buyers, good luck. Cash is king. Investment, the hedge funds, they got you beat, boo-boo. Over ask, but they got, sweetie. But I'm often over ask. But the hedge funds, the investors, they got cash. No financing. Cash. Why is that a problem? Because when first-time home buyers cannot secure the home that they're wanting to get, can afford to get, that lessens the chance of for generational wealth. That has an adverse effect on their wealth potential. That's why. But I know we don't want to hear that though. So you think even in the elderly know facing the same thing. Well, I got my education. Really? Yeah. They got folks with degrees living in their vehicles too. And this is why I say not to carry the seed of poverty D. Let's go ahead and look at this clip. Fair use.
To living, and you'll be able to afford a home. But the lack of affordable housing is turning that age-old concept upside down.
And tonight, I-Team investigator Kitty Legrone continues her original reporting on this issue with a revealing look at homelessness among the middle class.
The pictures of a booming Florida are hard to miss. More people in, more construction up. The economy thriving.
My name is Angelia. I'm a senior financial services accountant for the Florida Department of Transportation.
Which makes this story,
I am what you would consider homeless.
almost impossible to understand.
How is an accountant homeless?
And that's what people wonder, because you have to pay to live, and so therefore you can't afford to save any money to move.
Since last year, Angelia Woods and her 4 children have called this Tampa hotel home.
I spend almost $2,000 a month to live here. Well, that's like all my income. So I don't have any money to save to be able to put down the first month, the last month, the security deposit.
After the pandemic forced a previous employer to shut down, she lost her job, was eventually evicted, and ended up hotel hopping. By the time she got her accounting job with the state, Florida's rental market exploded, making her numbers to get into a place of her own unworkable.
I tell my kids, you work, you're entitled to things. You take care of yourself, you're entitled to things. So I never thought I would ever be in a situation like this. It shocks me sometimes.
What about assistance?
I don't qualify for assistance. You make too much money to qualify for assistance, but then you don't make enough money to be able to save to get somewhere else to live. So I'm in that middle place, that gray area that I had a hard time seeing my whole life. I'm the one that's in that shady area that no one really wants to acknowledge is there. I need a moment.
Every 2 weeks, we pack our stuff up, and go to the next church.
Across the coast in Martin County.
It sits down here because the TV's so far away.
Before they started church hopping, Owen Russell and his 17-year-old daughter Elizabeth were couch surfing. At times, he says, even sleeping in their car.
Terrible. It feels terrible. I'm a single father. I've raised my daughter since she was 1.5 years old by myself. I've always been there for her.
Russell is a full-time transportation provider for non-emergency patients. A good job, he says, but with rental prices up 20 to 30% in the area, it's not good enough to land them into a place they can call their own.
When they're saying they're building homes for middle-class families, and I go to apply and I say, who's able to afford this?
Russell and Woods are among a growing number of middle-class working families in Florida, now becoming first-time homeless families, too.
I've called them families that are in the gap. It's families that they make too much to qualify for government subsidy, but too little to afford the market rent. So I just say these are our workforce that are in the gap.
Madeline Bazone Greenwood is executive director of Family Promises of Martin County, part of a leading national nonprofit dedicated to helping families who are experiencing homelessness or facing homelessness. Though the feds have poured hundreds of millions of pandemic relief dollars into state and local coffers to help people pay for rent or down payments, Bazone Greenwood says without changing who gets priority and increasing income eligibility requirements, more working families will fall in the gap.
We have to help families that are making a higher income. Okay, so these are the families that, even though their income's not as low as what the original definition was, they still need the help.
For the most part, this is our stuff.
Owen and his daughter are now looking at moving across state lines to Georgia.
I'm a Floridian boy, and there's no place for me here.
There's a stereotype like, you're single and you got kids, you must be on welfare, you must be doing this. No, I get up every day and go to my job.
Angelia Woods plans to stay put.
I'm an accountant. I'm already working. I'm already productive.
July will mark 1 year in this hotel, an anniversary this mom would like nothing more than to miss.
I don't want anybody's sympathy. I don't want anybody to take care of me. I will take care of us.
And that's what Black women do every day. I look at this and I commend her. And then sometimes it makes you sad. Oh my God. It's just like recently, even with my ex-husband, and it's just a difference when you're dealing with a man that's a provider, one that's not. And I have even had this from boyfriends. I'm just saying my experience. I cannot speak for everybody. And I'm sure as hell not speaking for every white man, because I don't know every white man, honey. I don't have no desire to, okay? I'm speaking my experience. But men that are providers and are builders, they think differently. In our community, we think we got someone, they got a 50-50. Oh, you got a good one, girl, 50-50. And it made me think about men that care, they'll get engaged into your finances, to your future. Oh, hey, I want to make sure you have enough to retire on. And I'm not his responsibility. I can take care of myself. Have you checked this? How much are you going to get Social Security? Okay, then you got your portfolio. How's everything going? I'm fine. How's everything going? I just want to make sure, okay, well, if something happens and, I want to make sure you get my pension, going over some numbers in case something happens. And I'm like, I am not a child, but I know they're not trying to like I'm a kid. No, it's just caring and concern. In case something happens, you can get X amount of dollars. You should be able to live off this here. When retirement comes, you got, pension. I don't care if it's $5,000. You should be able to live off this every month. And if you can't live off this every month, now come on. Going over finances. And I'm not initiating it. That's what men do. What they're supposed to do. And a part that makes me sad is that the woman on the screen here, she got 4 kids. What the hell is that conversation? Where is a freaking man to pick up that darn phone and see if the kids are okay? Oh my gosh. I could not be dealing with a dusty, because if I would have, I might be in the jumpsuit, y'all. Instead of simply saying, what's your name? 872409. Oh, I went upside his head because. No, I just can't deal with the nonsense. And it makes me think about that. Is there a man in her life that's giving a darn about her financial future? Probably hell no. Probably dealing with a seriously. These are conversations that a lot of women have with other men. We're not having this in Blackistan. I thought about that. What man is picking up the phone? She didn't have create those kids by herself. That's what real men do. Concerned about your financial future, even in retirement. Well, we got a way to go for retirement. How are you financially? Financially, I am fine. Losses in the stock market, but you trust me. Kind of plan for it. Wasn't born yesterday. Try to stay on top of the little coins. Men that give a darn, they ask these questions. And how many men are asking black women these questions? Probably not, because they don't give a darn. And that's the part that's sad. But you want to, people sometimes get mad at divestors. I heard people, well, child, I'm staying with my man. You go right ahead, honey. You stay in poverty land too. This strong black woman, I'm a strong black woman, that little mantra, that little moniker. You've been strong for you and your kids, your boo. But who is being there? Who's going to be strong for you? I wonder when is the last time, if ever, has one of the men of those children contacted her to see if she needs anything? How are my kids? If it's different fathers, how's my child? What man is concerned about her well-being financially? What man can she call and get some help financially? But she has 4 children. And it made me think, having a conversation, I'm like, yes, I know, I'm fine. Or we need to go over this, planning for your future. We need to do this. I'm plenty grown, boo-boo. And I used to be like, oh, they come again with this, and I hate to say that, just my experience, even dating, I can only speak my experience. And again, my dad was a proud black man. He took care of us. And my dad taught me, what men are supposed to do. That's why I deal with dust. But you think about that. In the BC, are we having those conversations? You keep dealing with dust, you never experience that. Men that build, men that provide, they'll be up in your business. Whether you're dating them, not dating them. Or are you going to be, I just want to make sure now, I know what's down in the market. You'll even have some ex-boyfriend, well, got a life insurance policy to make sure you're okay. The video I did on Patreon about my personal life, that was a little drama. And at the end of the day, I can only speak my truth. When I thought, we thought my ex-husband was not gonna make it. At the end of the day, out of all that trauma going on, and you've moved on, you know what I mean? Got a boyfriend. Out of all that was going on, I can say Despite the little drama, we did have some drama. Oh my God. Both parties concerned about my financial well-being. So this here, having to navigate it and handle everything on her own. The seed of poverty D. And stop and think. Some of these men are not worth your womb. They're just not. If he can't get a Krispy Kreme card, if he can't find his own $3 from the Dollar Tree, sweetie, what he shouldn't be with it. You need to go. Things like this happen. And I'm willing to say, just my opinion, she's more than likely been handling things. So stop and think. She got 4 kids. Okay. Let's say she's got the same father. Let's just say she got the life is hard enough. But let's just say it's one dad. Okay. What if this fool just paid what? We're gonna deal with broke man's turn, dusty turn, because we know someone paying $35 a month. Well, let's just say you got 4 kids here. So if she's got 4 children, and let's say if the dust bucket can $400 a month, which is really nothing. So $400 a month time what 12 months in a year, that's $4,800 a year. But let's say she's a strong black woman, she got this. That's $4,800 a year. Any man that's worth a darn. And these kids might be, she didn't give their ages, which I understand. Let's just go ahead on a gamut. Let's just say that's $4,800 a year. A man that's worth the darn, she's handling on her own. You put that away for the children. That's $4,800 a year times 5 years. Whoa. 400 times 12, 4,800. Now that times 5 years is $24,000. So what if he was worth a darn? I don't care if you are paying child support. You know a rainy day is going to come, especially in the BC. Last hired, first fired. That in 5 years, that would be $24,000. You think if she had a man that's worth a darn, or if she, if he gave a darn about his children, you think that right now, what if somebody put that $24,000 in her lap? Hell, $12,000. She could do something. More than likely, she wouldn't be in that, the hotel. Oh, hey, it didn't work out. I have been saving a little money for the kid. But see, we don't plan. We can plan to go to the, to the shoe store, whatever you want to buy. We can plan that. Concert, oh yeah, big booty Jew. Don't forget, they don't have no money. Ask Bad Baby. Those just got some. They do what they want to do. People do what they want to do with their money. So what if the man just gave a darn about his children? What if he had a whole life policy? You can, maybe get a loan on it to help out the mother of his children. You can't do that, or you don't want to. $400. That's $24,000 in 5 years. 5 years. $24,000. But we can't do that. If a man did that, and let's say she's been handling on her own, because it's not unlike a black woman to take their dust out child support. That blows my mind. Blows my mind. Set the bar really low. I bet that 24 G's could help her right now. Wouldn't be on the news crying. She has a job. You got a down payment for something. But see, it's things like that we don't want to talk about. It's things like that we don't want to plan. A lot of our people get ourselves in the thing, oh, I'm too good for that. I ain't going to be staying there. Oh, that's that. As a little 1-bedroom condo. I ain't staying there. Oh, okay. I told you about that guy, that little, about Dan. You can't label him a dusty Dan. Inherited some land from his family. Gets divorced, live in a nice house. Wife got it. You bought a what? A trailer. And put that trailer on their property. Paid cash. So you're divorced now, kids grown, you and your dog, and you're making $88,000 a year. $88,000 a year. The trailer paid for and the land paid for, so you just have to pay the property taxes and the insurance. Wow. Hate to say it, most black folks, we ain't trying to hear that. Oh, no, dog. No. We make $88,000. We're going to sit up here and probably find something that's costing more than half so we can floss. We can be seen. And then when life happens, uh-oh, what is we going to do? I don't know, boo. Better start thinking. So things like this here, I thought about that. What man is picking up the phone? I don't know her relationship status. Obviously single, her and the 4 kids. But out of those 4 children, you can't find a dust bucket to pick up the phone and see how she and the children are doing. Just to see how, I don't care, it didn't work out, to see how she's doing. To see if she's okay financially. Real men do this kind of stuff all the darn time. But when you specifically, you just gonna keep it to the BC and keep it to these Dusties, be that Dusty Dan, Mr. Wong doing wrong, Lil Tita and Tyrone. That's not the norm. This woman is probably just, I can't imagine in that hotel, herself and 4 children a year in a hotel. And it's $2,000. Where are the men at? If you want your life is challenging and hard enough, but if you want your life to be extra hard, ooh, child, you like poverty. Carry the seed of poverty, D. I don't care what happens. There are children. There's an obligation. And I'm willing to bet you, where's the child support papers at? Any man that's seeing this on this, who hasn't checked up on this woman to see if she's okay? Well, I only got one by. It doesn't matter. You have one by her. To pick up the phone and see how she's doing financially. Honey, if you can't find a man like that, you wasting your darn time. These losers are not worth your womb. Beware the seed of poverty, D. Emotionally, physically, and financially, it can break thee. It's not worth it. Anyway, I'm wishing the best for her. It's sad, but it shows you what is going on, life changing just like that. We don't want to make it harder. We have to make better decisions. We got to be smarter. Avoid the seed of poverty, D. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.